Hi, I'm Lyndon. I'm an artist based in the Philippines. And I want to show you how I set up my planner and journal for 2025. So I I used a bullet journal method. Um, I used different kinds of planners in the past. One of my favorites was sorry, uh, I don't know. I still don't know how to say this thing. The light. Anyway, this one. So I used to plan using this size, and then I got experimental after that. I tried different sizes like this, and it just got bigger and bigger. I don't know why. One day I just woke up and said I need an A4 planner like right now. So I bought one, and it ended up being too much. But I did get some great use out of it. It was great for what it was. But I eventually realized that I need to size down again. So I decided to try something new for the year. So I was looking around on the internet and I found the Traveler's Note. And oh my god, the endless possibilities. I just can't. It's so amazing. So because I decided to do this in January, all of my planners arrived on the first week of February, which is not very good for planning. 1 month is already gone, but it is what it is. I did prepare a few other things. While I was looking at videos of how different people set it up, I realized that the way most people do it just won't do it for me. Might not work for me. I liked the idea of, I like the size of the standard. It's just so nice. But I realized that when I write, I usually write on the left side, and then the right side is mostly blank. So I usually decorate it with washi tape or stickers. And about the same time that I got interested in the Traveler's Notebook was also the same time I got interested in leatherworking. And one of my toxic traits is that I think I can do it on the first try. So I did just that. I remembered that I had a leather lying around in the house. It's been in storage for 8 months, I think. I had it last year. And then I just forgot about it. So I was like, hey, since I'm gonna try something new, might as well develop a new skill with it. So I decided to make my own leather cover. So I guess this counts as a faux dory. I've heard that phrase floating around the internet, and the way people do it's really awesome. There's this one creator, I forgot her name, probably I forgot the name, but she ordered this custom cover from this leather worker, and I think the name of the company is Apple Fig, and the way he does it is you can customize your own cover. You can basically ask him to do whatever you want. You can plan it out, and then it takes a while, but he was you get something that is customized specifically to what you want. And I liked it, but I didn't like the idea of having it being so bulky that if I open it up, I'll have a hard time writing on it. It gets in the way. So I tend to accumulate a lot of stationery and other stuff, and I just happened to have bought a pack of magnets, so I decided to use it. So when you open the insert up, here I decided to add side pockets on the left and the right. And I think the thing that you will notice first is that I have more than one strap here in the middle. It's because I've seen the way most people attach multiple inserts, but it seems to be a little difficult to take it off. And I like the idea. I like the flexibility of being able to take out my insert whenever I want to, because sometimes it does get bulky. So I added 4. And this pen loop that folds flat if I don't need it. So I mostly plan with my high-tech Coletto. It has 3 colors. It has black, gold, and blue, which I mostly use for planning. I have others, like this one. And this is my first Coletto. I've had it for 10 years and it still works. So I love multi-pens because I don't have to constantly pick up and put down different pens. And it means I have many colors with me at all times. I just love having the choice. And for the journal cover itself, I liked having a pen loop, but sometimes I don't need one. So I saw a design that allows it to fold back flat if you don't need it. I think it's from the company Moody. I'm not sure. I'll link it down below. So I looked at pictures and basically tried to copy it. It does work. But of course, it's my first time doing any kind of leatherworking at all. So I would not be surprised if... Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that it looks all banged up, and look at the stitches, it's all uneven. It's because it's my first time. Sorry. Okay, so I talked about customization, but it did not end with the side pockets and the pen loop. I was like, hey, if I'm going to customize something, I might as well go all the way. And I made this and this. So remember the magnets I mentioned earlier? So I put it here in the sides so that it sticks together. And then here too. So when I fold it up, they all come together like that. And it's one nice stack. It's one nice stack, and I do love it. I love it so much, actually. I thought long and hard about whether or not I was gonna get the original cover, but the more I looked at pictures online, the more I realized that I really, really like what I made because it's so specific to what I want. For example, this one. Let me get into this. So I like carrying a ruler around. For example, this. So I can put it here on the side, and then I can use this space here for things like my stamps, my erasers, and a correction tape. So the small one fits here quite nicely. I'm sorry, my cat wants to come in. Hi, so my cat didn't want to come inside. But my dogs want to. Oh my goodness. Come on. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I'm showing you what I usually put in this side pocket that can be detached. So for example, here is the pocket that I plan to use for the mild liner highlighters. So these are the colors that I decided to use for this year. And they fit like that. There you go. Here on the other side is for my stamps. So I love stamps. There's just something about them that gives me so much joy. So I bought this last year before I decided to get the planner inserts. I bought it for habit tracking, but they have a specific one for habit tracking, but I wanted one that can also serve as a calendar, so I got this one and this one. This helps me visualize my day better with the time. So these two I put in here. So they fit like this. And then this one fits right here. It's a little snug, but as the leather gets warm, I like that it doesn't fall off. And then these are my other stamps. This is the Kodomo no Kao brand, I think that's what it's called. So it has the planner icons and then the housekeeping icons. I really love these. Like they fit here and here. I also love these Pilot Friction stamps. So I got one that has a weighing scale, a heart, and a birthday cake. So these fit here. And that's it. So it fits like this. And then here on this side, looks like a mini standard planner cover, but it is actually something I designed for sticker sheets. I know that they have the sticker insert. I actually ordered one, but it hasn't arrived yet. But this one is for those the planner sticker sheets, especially the Mindwave ones. I think this is what I used for the size. Like, it has these slots here that you can slide the stickers in and out. For example, this one. Because I just really wanted a way to organize my stickers better. Because I wasn't very good at doing that before. But this way, I can slip this into here. And then I can have all of my sticker sheets organized. So I used up most of the sticker sheets. I promised myself I wouldn't buy more until I used them up, so I did. So this year I will be collecting more, or maybe even making my own. So this is the system that I planned for my journal here, and it snaps together like that, and then like this. There you go. But besides that, I wanted to be able to do something with the planner itself, like the inserts themselves. So this is how I plan to use the traveler's notebook. So let me just put this in here. Okay. So I actually bought both the monthly insert and the weekly verticals. So now I'll explain later why. I liked bullet journal. I still do. I will still keep on bullet journal, and this will be my bullet journal. But what I disliked about keeping a bullet journal was having to set up the months. It's so tedious. I really hate it. So it's like if I could just remove that obstacle, I might actually enjoy planning more. So I like in case you haven't noticed, I like over engineering things. It's not really necessary, but I like doing it, so I did it. So I did the same thing with the inserts themselves. So I got the monthly and the weekly vertical for a purpose. So my plan is to use the monthly as the future log, as it gives a nice overview here of the whole year. And for memory keeping, one of the first journals that I bought that really got me into like journaling is actually this one. It's by it says Visual Life. This was back in 2019. It's by Art Print Japan, I believe. So this is less about planning and more about like, I think I like putting ephemeras on it, and like this is the part that I wanted to show you. I love this part. I can just doodle and sketch my memories, and then just add all the stuff. And then I realized that I really don't like planning and memory keeping in one thing because it's just so confusing. But I love memory keeping this way. So I wanted to do that with this insert, and I will show you later. So my plan is bullet journaling is basically a system. It allows you to plan while looking back and being intentional about, well, basically your entire life. So one of the basic parts is the index. And if you notice, there is no space for an index here unless you want to write on the craft cover, and I don't. So I'll show you how I will solve that later. And that the thing that I want to do, which is this, I just don't have space for here because they only have a few pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not enough. I think when I was planning it, it was only until May. So luckily, I have Tomura River paper on hand, and I thought if I could just cut it to size and then fold it up and then just insert it here. You could technically just use washi tape to like insert pages the way I did here, like when you insert pages in the middle. And this, you insert pages. It works, but I just want it to be a little more sturdy. So I think I will actually be using my binding to somehow add pages here. I'll figure it out later. I'll show you. But that is the plan. So this here will contain the feature log and memory keeping. And the vertical is where most of the other work will be. So here I plan to use this as the monthly log. And then these as like the dailies. I like having the sort of limited space because it is just for planning, it's not for journaling. It's just enough space for me to be able to write things I want to do, what I plan to do for that day. It's just the right size. And I would have preferred more space here, but I actually really like a calendar a bit. So I think the note space here at the bottom, I think it's gonna be enough. I tend to write pretty small, so this is just the right size for me. So this will be like the daily logging, as I tend to I tend to be very overly ambitious. Like, I write down tasks that I want to do, but I tend to not really do all of them because I overestimate what the energy I have for that day. So I only end up finishing like 60% most of what I plan to do, and then I do the rest of the week. So it is a little better, I think, especially for the bullet journal method, because you can like indicate with the keys whether you did the task, did you migrate it to a different day or to a different month. So I plan to use like this space here for the keys, and then that is it. But I know some people like to keep collections like habit trackers and all that stuff, and I like them too. So even though the monthly insert and the weekly vertical work for me, I got a 3-book set of the dotted. So my plan is to use one of them for collections. So for example, when I was watching like videos of other people journaling and stuff, people liked to do like this one, swatches for washi tape. Like when I was in Japan, I tended to collect washi tape whenever I went someplace, and then they happened to have a stationery store, or like even not a stationery store. Some places sell washi tape, like temples, for example, have washi tape. Like, who knew? And even like the gacha machines or the sushiro restaurants, they have washi tape. So it kind of became an obsession for me to like collect washi tape. But then again, once the year is done, it's like, okay, so 2019 is done. What do? I want to keep collecting washi tape. And I didn't want to have to go back to this planner to add things. So I decided to migrate it to this one. To this planner. It's not a planner, it's more like a notebook. I actually got this at a rest stop in Japan. So I originally planned for this to be like a planner type of thing, but it didn't work out. I ended up not liking it for that. So I changed gears and decided to use it as my washi tape swatch book. So this is actually an accordion book. It was my first time seeing one. I kind of went crazy. And oh no, I gotta buy this. It was the best impulse buy of all time. If you want a tour of the washi tape swatch book, please comment down below. But that's it. And sometimes collections, I liked to have them in the bullet journal itself, is what I'm trying to say. But sometimes it's just better to have it be like a separate thing, especially if it's something that I want to have for more than just that 1 year. So what I plan to do is to develop a system. So I actually have it planned up here. So like this. So the plan is how to bullet journal in a travel notebook. So the plan is to use 5 inserts, the monthly, the dated weekly, and 3 dotted notebooks for 3 different things. Like the one of the dotted insert will be used for the daily log and maybe habit tracking and other things. Because sometimes I do like to do to write a bit more for the day, maybe like write down my thoughts. It's not every day, and I tend to skip a lot, and it makes me feel bad when I have blank pages. So having the weekly vertical insert that just has enough space for me to be able to write a few things is it's better for my conscience. But here I have the option of writing a bit more. So this can have all of my habit tracking for like things like my dog, or like other habits that I want to build for the year. And then I can use another one for collections, like let's see, like collections that I will use probably for like more than 1 year, like this one, like a cleaning schedule or a book review, or like a bucket list, or like what shows I watched, or like a weight loss tracker, exercise tracker, birthdays, or like lifelong goals, or like funny and precocious things that my daughter says. Then my daughter's school schedule, like date ideas, places to visit, like where we currently live, other things. And then the other one will be for like project specific insert. Like if I have something that I will be working on that year, like, but it's not limited to just that 1 year. Like for example, I'm planning to open up a business soon, so that will be dedicated to that. And I like the flexibility of being able to like take an insert out and put it back in, and to be able to like continually use it instead of having to refer back to every planner that I've ever had, because it gets quite bulky. So like again, part of what makes bullet journaling fun is the ability to look back and reference things. So I decided to create like a catalog system. So it's actually inspired by the bullet journal, not bullet journal, the traveler's notebook catalog. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did the catalog go? Where did it go? Oh, you know how the like this, how every insert has its own number. So I decided to create my own system for referring back to the bullet journal. For example, the monthly will have the year, and then future log and memory keeping. And then the inserts will have January to June, weekly log, and then July to December weekly log. And then each dotted insert will be labeled according to what's inside it. Like for example, if it's going to be collections, or like the habit trackings, or like for the project, that is what is going to be in the catalog system. I still don't know what to call it. I'll show you maybe in a different video on how I will do that. So for the monthly planner, I realized that it needs more pages, so I will be doing that in a separate video. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I will be adding pages here for the index, and then add page numbers here until the weeklies. So all of the dated planners, or the ones with the calendars anyway, I will put pages to so that I can refer back to them. But the dotted inserts will maybe have their own indexes. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. So that is how I plan to journal and plan for this year. What I forgot to mention about earlier is what I was going to use the dotted inserts for. So as I mentioned, one would be for like my daily logging and for habit tracking. And then the other one, this will probably be dated, but I'm not sure, because it's part of the bullet journal system that I plan to use for 2025. So future log, monthly log, weekly, and then the daily. So these will probably be dated. But the other two that I mentioned will be for other stuff. Like the other one will be for collections, like places I want to visit and stuff. I think I talked about it earlier. But the other one will actually be for Zibaldone. So I know that like it's not quite a commonplace book, but I think it's a good entry point to keeping one. So Zibaldone, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I'm not Italian, but I promise I don't break my pasta noodles in half. So I'm sorry, that was out of pocket. Anyway, so this will be my Zibaldone insert. So it's basically for anything and everything that comes to mind, like quotes, recipes, random facts, things that don't quite make sense to put in my collections will go here. So I want to keep a commonplace book, but I don't quite know what kind of commonplace book to use because like commonplacing is quite like subject specific. For example, like you need to arrange the data in a way that's understandable. I just know that my mind doesn't work that way for now. So keeping a Zibaldone would be like being able to like brain dump on into one insert. Like I used to have like a brain dump page, but it was never enough for the whole year. So like an insert that is specifically a collection for all of the interesting, weird, or even unsettling things that I learned will be kept here. And if I see a pattern or like be interested in a topic that I wish to pursue learning more about it, then maybe I can make a commonplace book. So I'll take you along. I'll probably make a video about it if I collect enough things to put in my Zibaldone notebook, and if I do happen to notice something that I want to create a commonplace book for, then I'll take you on that journey with me too. Stay tuned. So that is it. So for now, the next thing that I want to do is to show you how I will insert pages to the monthly to turn it into my memory keeping insert. So I already cut up pages. Excuse my squeaky chair. So I already cut them to size, and I already punched holes using my bookbinding tool. So I just added like 3 pages at the back, and I will be adding 3 pages to the front also. So let's see how it goes. This will be my first time adding pages to an existing book. So let's see how it goes. So I actually broke one of my embroidery needles. No, my bookbinding needle, the straight one. When I was working on the leather, this was very thick. Like I was working on a different one of these. The leather was a lot thicker, and when I was, like I said, I got into leather working. So I used the needle that's supposed to be here for making a wallet. And then I don't know, I think I put too much pressure on it and then it broke. So I have to buy a new one. So I'll be using this curved one. It will be my first time using a curved needle. I don't know how this will go. So this is waxed thread that will, well, I noticed that waxed thread, it doesn't tangle as much as like normal thread does. So that's one thing. I think I need that, not that much. What I like about the Tomoe River paper is that it's the same shade of green. Sorry, that's my dog. He's playing with his Kikito right now. It's the same shade of green as the MD paper that they use, and it's so buttery. The Tomoe River paper is a little more smooth, I guess, than this, but here we have it. I have space for my index and for my keys. And here is the feature log. Kazu. And for memory keeping. So I get the best of both worlds. And here is, this still bothers me, but at least it's on there, I guess. Let me see. Is it gonna be a lot? Oh. This is only the last bits, I guess. I will now be labeling the inserts according to the system that I plan to use for 2025. So I felt a little extra today and thought about using gold foiling and my freehand foiling pen, I guess that's what it's called. So this one is the monthly insert, the dated monthly insert for 2025 that I plan to use as the monthly log and for memory keeping. This is just a closer view of the gold foiling. Wait, let me adjust the focus on that. There you go. So this one says 2025 monthly log plus memory keeping. And this is what I did to it. I added 3 folded Tomoe River paper to the front to create the index pages, and to add just a few more year-specific things that I would like to keep track of, like this. Mind declare, goals for the year, like small steps in making it happen, affirmations, things I might want to try this year, a weight loss tracker, and a yearly overview for the simpler version of the future log that gives me more space. And I used the cute rectangle that comes with the insert as a handy border for my keys. And then this is the calendar, the yearly overview for each of the year. You could probably maybe also use this as like a mood tracker if you wanted to assign like different colors. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing that, but we'll see. But it's a fun way to keep track. So I filled in February with things that I plan to do, like filming and other recurring chores, and when for example when the garbage collection comes, when my husband goes off to Manila for work, or when he works from home. and just monthly tasks I put here. And then for memory keeping, I also added a few pages here, just enough for me to be able to do it for until December. So I'm starting my traveler's notebook in February. As you can see, I'm very good at planning. I didn't I didn't start in January. But this is what it looks like. Eventually this will be full of just random bits like stickers and ephemera and maybe some sketches and doodles. That would be my memory keeping for the year. Like every month has its own spread until December. And if you noticed, I actually took the time to add pages. This took a while, but I added page numbers so that I could start indexing, because that's part of how I can keep track of where things are and how to easily find things while bullet journaling. And this is my monthly log and memory keeping. And for my weekly, this is the one for January to June, and this one is for July to December. Since like if you put everything together, it tends to be pretty thick. I probably won't be putting both January and July together at the same time, but we'll see. So for the weekly, for example, I didn't add any pages to it. It's good the way it is. I just put this tab here, and I will be using this as the monthly log, and this is how I use the weekly vertical spread. How? I do also have a daily, but I don't think I will be using it much because some days I do like to write and some days I don't. Like for example, today I did. I did like having to specifically write something, especially if I have like reminders or like thoughts I had for the day. It goes here, but I don't necessarily do that every day. And now this dotted insert is specifically for my collections. This is actually the main reason why I wanted to try bullet journaling in a traveler's notebook, because I didn't want to have to write this all over again or have to refer to the previous year's collections. But I think this might be the solution to the problem I'm having, in that I can just keep this for when 2025 is over, and I think it's still relevant. I can just keep this insert, and then just update the dailies, the weeklies, and the monthly logs to like the new ones, the dated 2026 versions. But for 2025, this is what my collection looks like. And for every succeeding year, I think I will also be adding the years here to the side, or maybe down here. It depends. So for collections, I decided to add an index page for things like bucket list, collections like bucket list, a life timeline that I haven't done yet. I probably will work on this weekend, so we'll see. And for birthdays, because I can never keep track of when birthdays are coming up, and I hate having to rush going out for presents. And this will just help me fill in birthdays every year from now on in the monthly, or rather the future logs. And here is a collection specifically for places to visit in Pampanga, and places to visit in the Philippines, and places to visit in Japan. and then hopefully places to visit in the world, because it is a traveler's journal, but I don't really do a lot of traveling right now because I'm a homebody and I just can't. I just like being alone and being cooped up inside with my internet and my creature comforts. And the cleaning schedule. Okay, so I actually did like a cleaning schedule a while back. I put it on these like really cute penguin postcards. I forgot where I put them. I swear I had them just a while ago. But back when we used to live in Cebu, I had a schedule for like the chores that needs to be done daily, weekly, and monthly. Because if I don't write it down, it's gonna slip between the cracks, and I'm just gonna forget to do it. But if it's there and I can see it, I can plan my week around it. I can plan my day around it. I can schedule tasks in that, like maybe tasks that don't have to be done daily or weekly. Like for example, like running the tub cleaner function on the washing machine, or cleaning up the dryer lint and boring things like that. But it's the boring stuff. It's the mundane things that pile up and make every day overwhelming, at least for me. So I like having a specific schedule that I can refer to and look back on, so I can try and keep track. And like for other collections, like books to read, because there are some books that I would like to read, but I just don't have access to them right now because they're hard to find. Sometimes I like to read like actual physical copies, but sometimes I have to resort to like digital books or audiobooks, which I don't hate. I do love them. I listen to audiobooks all the time. But sometimes just the real thing is so much better. I just love the feel of paper. And this, it's a collection specifically for the things that my daughter says that I think are just beyond her age. She's been saying cute, precocious things since she was like 2.5, and she has not stopped. So I am dedicating a lot of pages for that. And then here are for shows that I've watched, because I am chronically online. I am always consuming content. So that will be there. And I think that's it for now. Okay, here, book reviews. Oh yeah. So in case I want to do like a more detailed book review, you know how sometimes when you're reading a book, you just can't get over it, even though it's already done, and then you can't move on to the next one because your mind is still stuck in the like, I'm still stuck mentally in the book that I was reading, and I just need to get it out. So maybe if I do book reviews after I read that book, the buffering time between books might be shorter. I love to read, but I'm not one of those people who like reads one book right after the other. I like having time in between my reads so that I can internalize and process what I just read. And sometimes, especially if it's like fiction, I'm still hung up on the characters and I just can't give them up for another world just yet. So writing about it, journaling about it might help, hopefully, because I want to read more this year. So that is the collection. And for this one, the project-specific insert, I titled it Mini Muni, which is the name of this channel and the name of the business that I will be launching this year. So it's from the word mini, like small, and then muni from muni meaning thinking. So for me, I interpret it as mini muni as in little reflections. So journaling for me has been a time for me to slow down and like process things, process my thoughts, the things that have been happening to me or around me, and it just helps me to be more intentional and mindful, and to be more reflective, I guess, of like the little things that like the thoughts that crossed my mind, or like some quotes, anything really. I spend quite a bit of time in my head. So that's why journaling has been so good for me, because I get to like unload all of the stuff that's in my head, and I can just put it down to paper, and then I feel more free. So this is what this is for. It's going to be dedicated for maybe like YouTube content ideas and like social media accounts, and maybe a growth tracker. Maybe I might do that, and like a flow chart, just project specific things for this specific project, which is the business that I'm going to be launching this year. So this is how I bullet journal in a traveler's notebook, so that it allows me to still have all the benefits of bullet journaling, but without the tedious making my own calendars, because I hate it. I really hate it. I like it when my calendars look nice and neat, and when I do it myself, I can see the differences in how I write certain numbers. I'm not very consistent with how I write my numbers, and it bothers me. So like having a pre-made planner and just tweaking it in small ways to work for me, it's a new approach that I'm going to try out this year. But I think this might be the best system I've ever had yet, because it's combining so many things that I usually use different bound planners or bound notebooks for. But this, it keeps it all in one place. And I will show you how I put it in my, I guess you can call it a faux diary. Here you go. So let's zoom out and open it up. So I like having these individual elastics because I can just easily slip things in and out. So what I do is I find the middle, or in this case, this side. I just slip it in like that. And bada boom, it's done. And for this, same thing. Because the funny thing is, I actually bought like the, what do you call that? The repair kit for Traveler's Journal, because I noticed that this elastic that I'm using is a lot thicker than I think what the Traveler's Journal notebook cover uses. And I think I like that, so I bought the thing. So basically everything is from Traveler's Company except the cover itself. So, and for this, I think I will just be using the side flap to put this in, and there we go. My very own Traveler's Notebook. Bullet journaling in a Traveler's Notebook. So I'll check in with you in a few weeks to see how this works out for me. And I hope you give this a try. And that's it. Oh, but wait. I was debating on whether or not I would actually use this brooch as like a charm. I'm not sure. It's really cute, but it's kind of bulky. But it looks cute like that. I don't know. I'm so torn. So that's it. Thank you for watching.